It's kind of hard to explain it in writing, so I'm just gonna make a video real quick. I don't know like if it's the same for everybody, but what happened to me is that I had an infection. I had an abscess in my mouth. I had had several dental surgeries, and the infection went into my jawbone, and then my ear bone, and then my brain. I was in ICU for like a week or a week and a half. But when I woke up, it felt like it had just only been one day. I noticed like when my memory did start coming back, it came back in pieces, almost like a flash, like similar to PTSD, if you will. And because my brain was so messed up, like I couldn't talk straight, I didn't know my name, I was choking on my food, like chewing my food because the muscles in my mouth were so weak. But after it started coming back, I noticed like I would be talking to my old man. I'd be like, yeah, like a couple days ago when A, B, and C happened. And he would be like, no, that was 2 months ago. Or I'd be like, hey, yesterday, but really it was a week and a half ago. I was like carrying a notebook, writing everything in this notebook so I could reread the notebook and remember what I needed to, that was important. When I would leave by myself, I would write my information and my husband's information on my hand, and he would send a note with me in case I got lost, because I did get lost a lot. And I would think I would know like where I was going, and I probably did when I started the adventure to go wherever. But in the midst of like my anxiety, the more emotional I got or the more anxious I got, the worse my short-term memory was. My long-term memory stayed intact, being that I only lost 10 years. So when I woke up, I felt like I was a decade in life previously, like I was 18, 19, 20 years old. But I would go someplace and I would get anxious, or I would make a wrong turn, or I couldn't work my cell phone because I didn't know exactly what a cell phone was. I was calling it a little computer. And then like if I wanted a lighter, I would say, hey, can I see that fire? So my brain just, I knew what the things were that I wanted, but the appropriate terms was not coming to me. So I would go somewhere, I'd be like, oh, I'm only gonna be gone an hour, and girl, it would be 6 or 7 hours. But I thought it was just an hour and a half, and it felt like forever because I was having a panic attack. So there was a really big lapse in time, like knowing, especially when I was getting like flashbacks, like knowing like, am I in the present time? Am I remembering things from years ago? And I would have to ask my family or like people around me, like, hey, I remembered this. Is this how that happened? Or did this really happen? Or it all felt so like dream or nightmare like that it was, all of it was so real. And it was like reliving the 20 years I still remembered. Now, what I didn't know at that time was that I was missing a lot of detail. So I remembered like long-term core milestones, but like everyday life I couldn't remember. Now, my current husband and my ex-husband look so similar that when I got married to him, I posted him on my Facebook for his birthday. And somebody actually got on that post and wished my ex-husband a happy birthday, thinking that the picture was of him. So the really only difference between them is that one is covered in tattoos and one is not. I actually just didn't remember my husband at all. I had no idea who he was. And when I realized he wasn't who I thought he was, obviously it made me more anxious, and I had like a lot more fear. Like, I'm married to you, but I don't know you. I'm married to you, but you don't know how to contact all of my family members. Like, I don't understand. And the truth is that I had been no contact with my family for 8 years now. So it was probably about 6 years then. Anyways, if you follow me on YT, I'm going to be doing a series about my life, and I'm going to cover my traumatic brain injury, the infection, and my memory loss. Anyways, I hope that helps.